Hello all, today let us discuss about a case study that happens in an organization. This is actually a case study of Sathish, a sales manager who have been promoted to a product manager in an organization. So this is a small a misunderstanding, and how does it comes to a closure, and how does a organization form. So all this will be discussed in this case study. So first let me explain what is this case study is actually. Satish was a sales manager for an industrial product company in city branch. Later he was shifted and promoted as a deputy manager of product management division. Uh, Project management division, which he was not more familiar with it actually. 3 days before, the VP of the company have organized a meeting for a product managers of the organization, where the HR of the organization, Mr. Preet, have actually suggested Mr. Satish to attend this meeting, so which would help him to know about this role more effectively. So at the beginning of the meeting, Preet introduced Satish very briefly to the VP sir. So later, after starting the meeting, the VP actually discussed about the process, procedures, and later he questioned each and every product managers. While coming to the Satish turn, Satish couldn't answer all the questions and he was blank and mum. So in that case, VP was anger with this behavior of Satish, and he was anger around him. He was anger on him. So later Preet actually he didn't interrupted in between VP sir, and later after the meeting ended, Preet actually explained to VP Mr. George that Satish is actually a new employee. Later VP apologized to about this to Mr. Satish. So the question is actually, was it all necessary for George to apologize to such a junior employee like Satish? So, my answer for this would be that yes, it was necessary for George to apologize to Satish. Even though Satish is new to the head office and is much junior to George, in order to keep up the morale of Satish, George should apologize. Definitely, it isn't wrong to apologize to Satish despite of his position. So next question would be, if you were in Satish's place, what would you have responded to Mr. George's apology? If I was in George's place, definitely I would understand the situation where uh, it is a statement of misunderstanding. So definitely, uh, I would thank George and promise him to learn about this process quickly, and I would thank him for his apologies, and later I would assure him that I would quickly adapt to the process and make sure to comply with the works, rules, and regulations. So the next question is actually, was George correct in saying that Satish is there to correct the stupid mistakes of his boss and George? So actually, he actually meant that Satish should comply with the rules and regulations of the organization, and it is not actually meant with the statement stupid mistakes of the boss, but he actually meant that boss expects Satish to work according to the policies and regulations of the company. So the next question is, what would you employ George in your organization? Yes, definitely I would employ Mr. George in if I start an organization, because he has a good practice of apologizing his mistakes. So definitely I would employ George in my organization. So next question is, did Preet made a mistake of not interrupting between the conversation of VP? No, not at all. So not interrupting between the meeting is now actually not a wrong issue. So he actually decided to inform Mr. George about this later of the meeting, and he actually done it. So it is not a biggest mistake. So next is that as an HR manager, how would you define the character of Mr. George? As an HR manager, uh, Mr. George, I would employ George. George is actually a natural leader where he mistakenly for um, he mistakenly um, pointed out a mistake out of Mr. Satish. Later, he understood about the problems and issues of Mr. Satish, and as a new employee, it he understood the constraints of Satish's point of view, and later he regretted his mistake. So definitely, he is a good boss, a good leader. So the next question is, would you be happy to have George or Preet as your boss? Definitely, I would be very happy to have Mr. George or Mr. Preet as my boss, because uh, they have given a good initiative, a good support, or they have a good knowledge in their works, and at the same time, this isn't the greatest issue, so definitely I would take them as a boss. So that's it about this case study. So now what is your task is actually I have solved this case study with my point of view. So now you come up with your ideas, whether uh, whether it is a right to apologize to Mr. Satish by the Mr. George, and what would you reply if you in a Satish place for the apology of Mr. George, and uh, is this the what Preet actually done is correct? So give your opinions about these questions in the comment section. So let us discuss more about these types of case studies in the upcoming videos. Thank you.